Hey, good day everybody.
Hello, hello.
My name is Erik.
And my name is Ruud.
Yeah, and Mankit, he touched something. Well, yeah, I mean, it seemed that OBS of Streaming Labs crashed. And that's why our Stream Deck wasn't working anymore. Anyway, Mankit fixed it. I think he's also the root cause, but anyway, we're back. And the people who are still in the alt URL in YouTube, they will find us. So, Ruud, today we are going to talk about new Ryzen 9000 series.
Yeah.
And I want to make one thing clear for everybody. You are here against your will, right?
Yeah.
Because
I've done a lot of testing, but I cannot show anything.
No. So we already got 3 CPUs from AMD in the last months.
Weeks, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Ruud did a lot of testing, of course. That's
what I do, yeah.
Yeah, that's what his job is. So we have a lot of Excel sheets with a lot of data. But then the delay came some time ago because nobody knows why. It's probably not the number on the CPU which was wrong. I saw some posts on the internet about that. And AMD said, we will ship you new CPUs. And we're still waiting for that. It didn't arrive on time, so it happens. Yeah. But we're not allowed to show the old data, or the old with the what is it, prefabrication CPU or?
Pre-production is what they call it.
Pre-production, yeah. Indeed.
Yeah. We cannot show that. Yeah.
No. So most media reviews, they have the final product. I also saw some in Poland. One they covered all the serial numbers.
So not sure about that one.
Not sure about that one, but there should be a reason why.
Yeah, we could have done that.
Yeah, indeed. But of course, I mean, despite the fact that we are not allowed to show Ruud's data, we can show stuff because we did around the media. So we can talk about that. And we have some new BIOS features which are introduced with these new AMD Ryzen 9000 CPUs. And that's why Ruud is here. And that's why he has a test bench. So we're also going to show them to you.
On an old platform.
On an old platform, indeed.
So not all features are available.
Yeah,
so
but we'll do that after we talk about performance. Today we're also going to give away Flintlock, a game, well, you know, it's Mankit's kinds of game because you saw me play and I think I died several times while Mankit was still alive during his sessions. So if you want to win, go to msi.com/2/insider or on YouTube or Twitch, click on the Gleam link. I hope it works now. It should be. Yeah. I assume this works. Yeah, this works.
Okay,
this works. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about CPUs from AMD. This is Zen 5, and I think everybody knows you have Zen 4, Zen 4C, Zen 5, probably maybe Zen 5C and Zen 6. I think they talked about that already, right?
Zen 5C?
Yeah. I saw some roadmap for that. But just like it's coming somewhere in the future.
The Zen 5 on mobile is already launched as well, but I don't think the parts have Zen 5Cs yet.
No. That's.
I think the high-end only is launched. So the HX launched.
So AMD announced 4 different kind of CPU, ranging from a 16-core to a 6-core, or 32 threads to a 12-thread CPU. All based on the Zen 5, and the official announce date we already talked about, it was July 24, but it became today, and actually they split up the launch, so Ryzen 5 and Ryzen 7 will be today. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow for sales, right?
Yeah, and the reviews are online right now. I think about 1 hour ago, so your favorite media in most countries, they should have a review online. What else can I say? Yeah, tomorrow they're on sales, and then the Ryzen 9s will be, I think, 1 week later.
Yeah.
So that will be probably middle of next week. I think on
Wednesday
Thursday.
And Thursday.
Wednesday and Thursday indeed.
Yeah.
Same.
Reviews on Wednesday.
Same structure.
Sales on Thursday. Yeah.
Leaked by Erik? No, nothing. Not yet.
Well, the stream's not over yet.
You have high confidence. That was
It could also be me, right?
that was probably why everybody in HQ was, no, this is not
you
allowed to
cannot
show.
show this.
Yeah,
No,
watch
you
out,
cannot
watch
show
out,
that.
watch out.
Okay.
Indeed.
Nice.
I think it's good news that all these kind of Ryzen 9000 CPUs are already working on the MSI motherboards. Normally AMD is releasing, I said, like they have three kinds of BIOS. First they have like a boot BIOS, so new CPUs are bootable. Then they have a, like it's working BIOS, so you can execute code on it, it's running Windows, etc. And then
you can update the BIOS. That's basically what you need. You need to boot with the new CPU, so you can update it to the latest one.
And
that's from May.
Indeed, that's from May. I said like 6 months ago, but Ruud said actually, I think it's not that long.
It's not that long. It's 5 months ago.
Yeah. Well, that's still.
Oh, it's close.
Yeah. So, and then around this time, normally they also do a new, I think, can I say new AGISA code for performance? Or is it there's a AGISA code, right?
Yeah, the latest one is the patch one, so they added an A on the back. So
it's
1.2.0.0.A or
and
patch A.
No, it's A, patch A, or is it A?
No, it's 0 patch A.
Okay, 0 patch A.
Officially, I think.
Yeah, okay.
So
So
the numbering is a bit weird sometimes.
And in the past, when sometimes mainboards have a long life cycle. They're in the warehouse, and then when there's a new CPU launch, which is pin-to-pin compatible, it will not boot. So that's quite annoying. Meanwhile, I think in MSI we fixed it because most, at least from MPG and up, but also lower mainboards, they have a
I think for
button.
AMD all
MAG as well,
Yeah, MAG also, yeah.
So they have on the back this kind of button, and then USB, you can put it in with the BIOS on it, and you can basically flash the BIOS without that you need the CPU on it. You only need power and nothing else attached to it. But yeah, like normally with these kind of AMD, I think is doing that in a good way nowadays. Huh?
Yeah. That's,
no problem there. You should not have any problem with any MSI mainboard, and they're running on all AM5 motherboards. Of course, you always need to watch on TDP, like is it a logical combination? But they will all boot and run.
The ones launched today are fine because they're both 65 watts.
Yeah.
So in theory, you can also run them at the A620 boards as well. Haven't tried it, by the way.
Yeah. USB 4 is the only difference. Okay, yeah, we will talk about that later. So this is what AMD released on their Twitter account, the pricing. They also released the pricing of the Ryzen 9 CPUs. We're not going to talk today about it because there is no performance data, so it's very difficult to comment. So the Ryzen 9700X is going to be around SEP, I don't know what it actually stands for, but it's probably like MSRP, like recommended retail price, something like that. Anyway, it's 359, and in euros that's 399 euros, which is including 21% VAT. So with exchange rate, it's quite close. And then the 9600X is $279 US, which is 309 euros including VAT.
Suggested e-tailer price.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Skits.
Thank you. Yeah. It's probably like MSRP indeed. So we also put the 7000 CPUs on the left side. This is what they now retail in Holland, and AMD, in the last few months, last few weeks, there are some price drops because we want to clear some inventory. I would say I'm not sure if they're going end of life. But of course, especially in the competitive range where these new CPUs are targeted, they need to clear. They need to clear some inventory, and they need to make some room in the price stack so that these CPUs have their own place. So 7600X retails at this moment for 210 euros. So that's 210 versus 309 euros. Quite a big gap.
Yeah, that's quite a big gap.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. There's even lower tier, like the 7500.
Yeah, I didn't put the price of that. Do you know the price?
Not exactly.
No, okay.
Somewhere,
and then the 7000, and we're comparing this on core level. So 6 core versus 6 core, 8 core on 8 core, and of course we know it's Zen 4 versus Zen 5. Yeah. 7700X is now 300 euros, while the 9700X is 400 euros, 399. And then I think the very popular CPU, 7800 X3D. is €370 at this moment. And I think that's also one of the competitors for the new Ryzen 5 CPUs. And that's a very strong CPU for gaming.
For gaming, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the most wanted CPUs, I would say.
Because the X3D cache, basically a large cache on the CPU, mainly games benefit from it, right?
Yeah, it's basically only for gaming.
And Cinebench, you know,
No,
nothing.
Nothing much, no.
Yeah. I think your Gleam is broken. Can you put a broadcast on Twitch? Okay, I will check that later. Give me a few minutes. Maybe 5 or 10, I don't know. Let me continue with this. This is also what AMD announced, longevity for the AM5 socket. And I think with AM4, they already proved more than ever that they have longevity for this socket, because it's already supported for many years. Can I count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They actually introduced 2 new CPUs for this one. I think it's this. Oh, my keyboard. These 2 CPUs were recently announced, and basically the 5900 XT is basically 100 megahertz, I think, slower.
Could be. I don't
Than
know.
the 5950, and the 5800 XT is 100 megahertz higher. So it's a little bit with clock speeds, and these were launched a few weeks ago. 8 years, yeah, and it continues, and that's quite interesting. So the main difference between the AM4 and AM5 platform, of course, is the memory support. It's DDR4 versus DDR5. But you also will see that, I mean, not many vendors like MSI, I don't think we will have any more new AM4 motherboards. The complete lineup is there. Some motherboards are going end of life, probably in the high end, because this will be taken over by AM5. But AM4 still has a lot of value to offer. I mean, if you still have old DDR4, CPU performance is really nice.
Yeah, and they also have the X3D versions.
Yeah,
yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about benchmarks. So these benchmarks are for the CPU performance. They're from Tweakers. And let me see. So Ruud, can you talk a little bit about it? So this is the Ryzen 7 9700. This is, what is it?
The
it's
overall score, yeah.
Average score,
They
indeed.
grouped everything together, so including with Photoshop, Cinebench, any productivity workloads, and they mashed it into one performance score, CPU performance score.
They had a good average overview, indeed. Yeah.
I'm surprised to see that the 7950 X3D is on top.
Can you see my mouse? Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I can.
So, okay, so indeed, in performance, the 7800 X3D is on top. It's only a few percentage, so not big of a gap. And then you have the non-3D CPU there as well.
Yeah, that's a bit lower, yeah.
Yeah, indeed. And that's the other side, the total energy used. You see these CPUs use a lot less energy.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the benefits. I think you told me like 20% more performance and 20% lower power?
The performance is not, the gap is not that big, so it would be 10% more performance on the Ryzen 5. The Ryzen 7 I didn't test. And yeah, it's about pre-production. Oh, pre-production. Yeah, so not sure about the results though. Discovering my behind. And yeah, the performance is about like 10% increase, and the power consumption is 10% less, so you'll get like a 20% efficiency bump.
Yeah,
that's basically what you will get.
And for 65 watt CPU is quite interesting, because I think they are quite conservative with their voltages, which means there is also some overclocking potential. Later we will talk more about that.
Yeah, or more like the undervolting with the PBO and the curve optimizer. You can extract more performance and even keep the power down. So that's.
Yeah, and
at least the Ryzen 5, the Ryzen 7, I have no idea about.
We were talking earlier, in the past it was purely about performance. Power was not an issue at all.
No, nobody talked about it.
Yeah, but nowadays with the ridiculous power limits, like It's 250, 300 watts for only a CPU. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that's why now power is an interesting option. Also, in some regions, the energy is quite expensive. So if you the whole day behind a powerful PC, under load, I mean, in idle, it's not much. But yeah, I think that's quite interesting. And let us have a look at the gaming performance. So this game performance is from Hardware Unboxed.
Yeah, it's only the Ryzen 7. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they did 13.
Yeah, they say 13 games. Yeah.
Yeah, average of 13 games as well. And here you also see, unfortunately, it's slower than the 7900 X3D as well, because that one is running at what is it? 163 FPS, and this one 155.
Yeah, you should look upwards to the 7800 X3D. That's the interesting CPU. So the top one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what a lot of people, of course, expected and hoped for to be that CPU.
Of course, this is with a 4090 at 1080p resolution, so it makes the differences bigger because the GPU can do a lot more, and the differences of the CPU will be amplified a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think most reviewers have very similar results, that it's only like 3% faster in gaming than the 7700X, and they expected a little bit more. So I would say it's not a CPU bottleneck or for this platform anymore, unless you add a lot of cache to it, and then you can increase the performance.
Silent Shadow is on his 5800X. More power.
More power, more power. Yeah.
Indeed, yeah.
I think that the gaming performance for the AM5 platform is basically tied to the cache and not to the CPU cores or the performance of the cores.
Yeah. Ruud, Mario Slav is saying not so glad, not so happy, not so glad with my X670p Wi-Fi board. He has to reset it each week because the Wi-Fi is working. Do you know anything? Probably a driver problem?
I haven't heard about that yet.
Please contact support. Ruud will answer. No,
not personally, no.
Yeah, go to MSI because this should not happen. And if Ruud doesn't know anything about it, it's not a widely known problem. So please contact MSI support. They're there to help you.
Yeah.
And maybe you get Ruud answering. No?
Not likely. No.
Not likely. Okay. In the past you did, right?
Yeah.
But now it's more for customer and media support, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So direct customers and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so this one is from Tweakers, and this is talking about the watts per FPS, and I think that's what we just talked about, quite interesting. It's not only about performance, but also about power usage, and this in gaming. And in gaming, of course, you never use either the GPU or the CPU at the same time 100%. It's always depending on the scene or what you're doing and what type of game you're playing. So over here you see that the new CPUs are quite closely matched. So this is, Ruud, if I understand, power in watts. So you get a 0.71, it's not kilowatt, but watt
per frame per second.
Yeah. So it's watts per frame per second.
Yeah, I would have expressed it the other way around.
Yeah.
So FPS per watt.
Yeah. Makes
that's
more
what
sense.
I would do. So what you gain for what price, that would be more logical in my opinion, but it can be the other way around as well.
Yeah, what you gain for how much more power usage.
And the benefit you will get is that the higher number is more better. So
in here you also see
the charts
at the bottom the Intels that are really power hungry.
Yeah, we saw that especially in the Cyberpunk with the. Well, we don't have a 4900K, but the 3900K is very similar, I think, and it consumes just by sitting in the menu already close to 100 watts. The CPU is not doing much, so yeah, that's really high.
Yeah. This from Polish website. I hope you understand the logo. It's 3D Info. The website is called.
Yeah,
maybe
correct.
Yeah. Complicated logo they have. Yeah. But they had some benchmarks at the same clock speed. So clock for clock, this is what we call Zen 4 versus Zen 5. and they have different benchmarks, so 3D marks in a bench, handbrake, encoding. So, and yeah, here you see a clear difference. What on the same clock speeds they can achieve. Of course, I mean, it's not the same wattage, which would maybe be more logical, but still, this is IPC, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Instructions per clock. So this is basically how fast are you
or performance per
at
clock
the same time.
Yeah. I don't care how many instructions it does, it just needs to do work.
Yeah, and it can have a different architecture or some new special structure. Indeed. But
But
basically this is IPC indeed. Like yeah. This is also what AMD talked about, increased IPC for the CPU.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then some overclocking performance. Ruud, you are the PBO expert.
Yeah, I did some testing with the pre-production sample, and the fun part is that PBO, you can increase the power limits or let it boost a little bit higher, but at the same time you can also undervolt it with the curve optimizer. So I was able to get it to -50, which is the limit of the curve optimizer. I set it to -100, but apparently it was still doing -50. So, but performance was up, and power was only slightly up as well. So there is some room for overclocking and tweaking and tuning. So yeah.
Yeah, and nowadays,
and I expect the higher performance parts, like the Ryzen 9s, will probably have less room than the Ryzen 5, of course.
Yeah. But they have also higher TDP, right? Because these are the 65 watts.
Yeah.
And one of them used to be what was it? A higher TDP, right?
Yeah, 230 is for the 9750X, but the new one, the 9950X.
No, but I mean for the Ryzen 7, wasn't that 125 or before?
That was 105.
Yeah. Oh, 105. Yeah, okay, so and now 65.
So the electrical power is like 142. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So AMD calls this 65 watt CPU. So the real electrical power is around 88. So the power limit is 88.
Yeah. And then at the bottom we have a overclocking compare from 3D Info from Poland, where they show the CPU, let's say Ryzen 5 at the bottom, of the Zen 5 I should say, versus, it's also Ryzen 5, no it's Ryzen 7. So Zen 5 at the bottom versus Zen 4 at the top. And yes, you see clearly more performance out of it. Thank you, I did. The CMOS reset was suggested, sent the board back, but I can't return it currently in a different country than where I bought it. Is that a problem?
It could be, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally the motherboards are, need to be returned to the shop. Yeah.
Gigaram is Iron Maiden fan. Eddie for president. Okay. Let's talk X870 motherboards. They are not launching today. We already previewed them. I'm not sure if already that's announced when they will launch. So I'm not going to tell you, because if I'm not sure, I'm not allowed to say it.
Just say something. Just say some date.
Some date in the future. Yeah, indeed. No, this will still take some time. So first of all, this is a slide from AMD about the chipsets, and yeah, I know they also released some information about some other more entry-level chipsets, which will come sometimes in the future. But that's not really interesting at this moment. We're going to talk about the 870 chipset, and one of the new things is USB 4. USB 4, AMD is doing this via an extra add-in chip. So basically you get extra PCI Express lanes on the chipset in order to provide that. They also promise PCI Express Gen 5 on the GPU and on the M.2, which also probably indicates to more PCI Express lanes in order to make this available. And this is what we see normally.
Well, we already had that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, but I mean, this is what you normally see in the generations, then like Intel, they add 4 extra PCI Express gen lanes.
Yeah,
and then
it's better to have more faster lanes, of course. And I also welcome the USB 4 standard.
Absolutely.
More performance to external devices.
Are there already USB 4 devices?
We do have one. Yeah.
Oh.
We have an SSD that works with the
retail already.
more or less. It's an enclosure, and you put an SSD in yourself.
Yeah.
And if the SSD is fast enough, you will get like 3,600 megabytes per second.
Yeah, nice.
So pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We use it also on laptop testing for Thunderbolt 4, USB 4.
Oh yeah, Thunderbolt 4. Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
And we had last year we had the add-in card.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. We also did a live stream about that.
Yeah. So that will be more and more standard because Ruud, indeed, he said we have that on most mainboards. That's correct. But now it will be more easier to do. So which means you have more flexibility to provide more I/O. Because, for example, USB 4 is taking some PCI-Express slots. Gigabit LAN is taking some PCI, not slots, but lanes, technical lanes. So everything is taking lanes, and we always need to choose. And I think that's especially the last, 5-7 years with Intel, they have the Flex I/O, they call it. It's like a puzzle, right? In the past was like you get 6 SATA, or well, maybe 4 at that moment. You get this many this and that many that. And now it's like, okay, these are your PCI Express lanes. Some are fixed, but most you can configure like what you want. And then we need to think, when we develop a motherboard, okay, what is popular? What do people want? What is nice to have? And yeah, I think if you know MSI motherboards in the last generations, we put a lot of focus on more M.2.
Yeah, I think M.2 is popular, and external USB also, but you have to make choices.
Yeah, I always have to make choices indeed. We'll talk about CAS, latencies for memory. I think recently, who was that? G-Skill who introduced some memory with low latency?
Yeah. You also have the 28 one.
Yeah, indeed. I saw interest.
With the higher, I think it's 6400 C28, something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah. And so clock speeds, of course, that's always in each platform. They try to increase the clock speeds for the memory. G-Skill Royale. Okay.
I'm not sure. I haven't tested that much with high-speed memory yet, but it seems that 6000 is still the most efficient one on this platform as well. So.
So this. My notebook has its will of its own. It's AI, probably.
I think your touchpad is an issue.
I have many issues, and my touchpad is one of them.
I said, why not use a mouse? But no.
Yeah. You said it. Well, I don't have a mouse. Do I?
Yeah, there's multiple mouses.
That's for next week.
Yeah. Anyway.
So we already showed you 2 x870 motherboards during Computex. Today, we can only show you these 2. We have more. Maybe I'm not allowed to say that, but we have. But we have one here, right? Because Ruud is already working with it, testing it. We cannot talk about what. That's for later. Let me see if this works. So, do you think this... let me see which button. Yeah, it takes a little bit...
Yeah.
Oh.
Upside down. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So this is the Pro X870-P. So it's one of one of the Pro mainboards for the new chipset. Here I think where's the marketing name? Oh, here. Yeah. So there you see it. This is not a final board, so there will be some small changes. You know, we never get final material. You know, they always give us some. Are there some?
It's a working one.
There's a working one. Are there debug wires? No.
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Sometimes there are some wires on the back or the front, soldered to make things work. So, new chipset. I'm not going to show you the. Can I show the? Yeah, we have like this. The VRM over here, it's SPS 14 plus 2 plus 1, 60 amp. So this is one of the more entry-level boards, but you will not combine this with a high-end CPU. So for 65 watts or 105, this kind, it's plenty.
For AMD, this is plenty. I mean, The power consumption is not that big. 14 power stages is more than enough.
Yeah. So what we already talked about, Gen 5 M.2, Gen 5 PCI Express for the GPU, but I think you all know that for GPUs it doesn't really matter. I mean, you don't see any performance benefits, or it's in the percentage 1 to 2%.
There is no Gen 5 GPU yet.
I think there are professional ones.
Yeah, there's a Pro one.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, the ADA.
No, it's not.
No,
it's also Gen.
AMD. Okay.
No, not yet.
No, Intel. No, also not.
Also not. No.
Okay.
No, I think.
I thought there was one.
No, there's a DisplayPort 2.1 version, but yeah.
Okay. Sorry if you get seasick. I mean, I'm like a little bit shaky. Try to do my best. Let me check the I/O panel. Let me do it like this.
Let me hold it.
Yeah, thank you.
Angle.
So that's the I/O panel. Over here you have those small buttons I talked about, so clear CMOS and BIOS flashback, HDMI, USB-C, and this is 40 gig. So that's actually the USB. Can I zoom in? Yeah, USB 4 indeed. 40 gigabits per second bandwidth. This USB 5 gig, so that's just USB 2.0. No, USB. Yeah.
Or 3.1 Gen.
No, not Gen.
2. No, well.
3.1.
3.1,
and then you have Gen.
No, but
Gen 2, and then you have Gen 2x2.
Yeah, confusing.
Yeah, confusing indeed. So here you have, so this is the USB 4 and this USB 20 gig, which is USB 3.1 to Gen X2
Gen
or something.
2 by 2. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, we should just shut up and just say 40 gig, 20 gig, 5 gig, and this
10.
one.
Yeah, the red is 10.
Oh, the red ones indeed are
blues are 5.
10. Yeah, indeed.
And there's a Type-C 20 and a Type-C 40.
Yeah, 5 gigabit LAN. That's Wi-Fi, as you can see over here. It's
4 USB 2 ports. Okay. Yeah.
It's Wi-Fi 7. Indeed, 4 USB 2 ports. They don't. We should rename that to 480 megabits per second.
Yeah, I think USB 2 is fine for. Like peripherals and keyboard mice and stuff.
Indeed. Thanks, Ruud.
Okay.
And then let me see what else I can show. Well, this is not a final board because it doesn't have the new easy M.2 clips. These are still the old one. Also easy, but the new one is easier. That's why it's called Easy M.2 Clip 2. I don't know. I don't know who made this up in the marketing department. It wasn't me. Yeah, or product marketing. And we have the screwless M.2. That's this one. So you just can take off the heatsink and you can put it on with one hand. And I think this is a big improvement because in the past, if you saw live streams from us before, one hand phone, other hand taking this off, and it's quite easy. The mechanism on the back, you see, there are some holes and there's a push mechanism. Yeah, so it's just you slide these two screws in its position and then you just click, and sometimes you have to push this in to get it down, but locking.
This one works quite well.
Yeah, this one works quite well. Yeah, we have to see.
In the past, the older ones were
very difficult.
Yeah,
not easy.
Hard to find those two pins.
Yeah,
and then you're just moving them about, and you don't see what you're doing because on the the bottom you don't see where the pins are.
2DFX is saying 480 megabits per second is so ingrained into the term USB 2. No need for speed labeling. We can call them just USB slow. I think
USB 2 will cover it.
Okay, USB slow is better. And then we also have a new feature, but it's not on this engineering board, so I cannot show you. But we will show you that later. Anything else what we can talk about this one? No, I mean, it's all standard. Over here, 2 times CPU power. Yeah, Ruud, maybe any information about this? This is for the GPU, right? Or for if you have multiple...
Extra power for the PCI Express lanes. Yes.
Yeah.
We just got it, so I only looked at it. So, but it's still an 8-layer board, which is surprising for a Pro board.
You mean many layers?
Many layers, yeah. Eight layers is quite a lot for, but it's an X board, so yeah.
Indeed, overclockability, etc.
Yeah, with a B board, you would B650 is probably usually like 6 layers, or could it be even less? Yeah. Probably for memory, speeds,
Yeah, if you want to, PC Master Race, is saying if you want to install 4 memory sticks on AMD 5 mobile battery to QVL. Any comment on that? And Expo is only doing 2 DIMMs.
Yeah, the speeds will go down if you put 4 DIMMs in, and it also depends if you're using single rank or dual rank memories. The more you will put on.
Am I not in focus?
What?
It looks like I'm not in focus. I'm going to check over here. It's pretty okay.
No, it's okay.
Yeah. Going to do a giveaway. And I'm going to check.
Yeah, check the Gleam thing.
Yeah. Well, Gleam is working, but.
Normally the bot is doing.
Yeah, but because we went live again, I will
need to
check again. Maybe Ruud, you talk a little bit.
Yeah, just checking the chat.
Yeah.
Get Thunderbolt 5. Yeah, I think that will be the next step. But I think it would be already good if we can put USB 4 on more motherboards and also more laptops and stuff. I think that's a good way forward. I think USB 3 we've seen a long time now. So USB 4 is welcome. Welcome change.
Thunderbolt is also from Intel, so this is something you will first see on Intel platforms, and I think there are really few mainboards with Thunderbolt on AMD. I think Ashrock has some.
They used to have,
Do we? I don't think so, right?
No, we haven't. We've never done that. No.
And that is probably a reason for that, which means that it's
the reason, or there's less necessity for Thunderbolt or for USB-C with display port connected in one connector. I mean, it's a desktop, and people don't take it with them like a laptop. In a laptop, it's more convenient to use like a docking station with a desktop, and then connect the docking station to that. That wouldn't make much sense. So and usually with the high-end motherboards that have USB 4 or Thunderbolt 4. They will also have a graphics card, and that can output anything to the monitor. So no need for a single connector.
Yeah, I just checked the bot on both
Gleam?
Twitch and the Gleam link, both on Twitch and YouTube. It's working. Okay. So I'm going to do the first lucky winner. If it's working, let me see. Okay, first winner is Vide84. Congrats with your prize. And in the coming days we will send you, it's me, so probably next week, we will send you the Flintlock code.
To the FX, maybe a deep question. Is there any reason that the industry loves Realtek so much for Ethernet chips? Well, in contrast to good vendors like Intel, Marvel, etc. Well, my experience with Realtek is pretty good, so I like Realtek also. Well, and it
depends when we ask you, because if we would have asked this 10 years ago or 7 years ago, maybe it would be a different answer, right? Then
No.
Not
Realtek,
for you personally.
No. Realtek has been very stable and very simple.
And nothing special, indeed.
Nothing special, but is LAN special? I mean,
well,
in the past there was like, oh, you need CPU cycles to run your LAN, and nowadays it's.
But that is where this Intel image is coming from. The idea that Intel is better and faster, because of the time when your CPU was processing your LAN signal, they were better, right?
If you look at driver support and stability, then I think Marvell is terrible in drivers. Broadcom is terrible in drivers.
For LAN.
For LAN, yeah. And Intel has its share with issues with the 2.5 gigabits.
I don't know, used to be, still, okay.
And they have a new revision, still called the same way, and you need a new driver. But there's already a driver on your system, and you think, why is it not working? Then, if you have Realtek, if the driver is there, it will work. And in many cases, you don't need to download a driver at all. Windows just knows it. It's much easier. But I'm just talking about desktop PC, so maybe in servers or workstations or network-heavy environments, then maybe other chips will be.
Any special with the audio on the board, or is it still the old same tech? I cannot talk about it, so I even don't know actually. So no, we're not allowed to talk about anything else.
Oh, okay.
Besides these points.
Looks like it's a similar brand as the LAN chip.
If you get fired, I know why. Well, you know, they push it from many sides in order to do this live stream today. This NDA, remove this, watch out, and you know, so we're just watching out. I mean, that's the only thing we can do. So we also announced the X870 Tomahawk Wi-Fi. So also based on the new chipset, will be launching later this year. Oh, did I say this year? Anyway, in the future somewhere.
In the future somewhere.
Yeah. 40 plus 2 plus 1, 80 amp PS. Also similar like this model over here. Gen 5 and on the M.2 and on the VGA. That's the VGA. The PCI Express slot. USB 40 gig. That's you can find it on all 870 mainboards. Easy M.2 Clip 2. Later we'll talk about it. Easy PCI Express release and screwless M.2, which I just showed with one hand. Quite easy. So some of the features. One of the things we in this generation is easy do it yourself (DIY). And this is the M.2 easy clip, which I couldn't show you, but in this generation I can show you that. We have a SSD here, no?
Yeah, in here, but
no.
It's screwed up because still.
I will show like this if it works. One moment. So this generation. Over here there is already a locking mechanism. So when you put your M.2 SSD in, you can easy, let me see if I do it the right way. Yeah, lock it like this. And when you open it up, it will basically jump out. Quite easy. Big improvement because versus the small screw. I hate them.
Yeah, you lose the little screw every time.
I'm getting old and they're so small. And if it jumps on the carpet, I know you should not put together a PC on the carpet.
Yeah, but you're
you
always
lose it.
In an awkward position in the inside with your head inside the case.
Oh, especially if the mainboard's already in the case.
Yeah. Terrible.
Indeed. So and now the new generation. Sorry, I don't have a live example, but it's more like how do you call this?
Just click it in.
Just click it in. It will move on the side. It will click, and you can flick it open basically.
Yeah.
Quite easy. Then the screwless M.2 shield fuzzle we just showed you. Very easy to do. Last generation, like what Ruud said, it was really difficult to make fit the screws in the holes because the holes was really small.
Yeah. The pins really.
Yeah. And then we have Easy PCI Express release. This is not a feature for me because I use my screwdriver. You can see the marks on my PCB.
Yeah.
Ruud is looking like, oh my god.
Well, I think it's
I know it's easy, especially with the high-end GPUs, which are really heavy, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 slots thick.
I see they already extended this one.
Okay, but that's.
You can.
No. I'm not going to show it. NDA.
Okay. Oh, it's NDA. Okay.
No, I mean.
You can watch it back. This video you can.
We showed it. But, it's a small improvement, but I'm not going to show it because later they will. Erik, that's NDA. You're not allowed to talk about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
That's just my fault.
Yeah, it just nothing happens. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the BIOS features because the new AMD CPU has a lot of new BIOS features. They're already inside the MSI BIOS. Today, Ruud has here a test platform, and we cannot show them all to you because some are really linked to the new 9000 series, like Curve Shaper.
Yeah.
Curve Shaper is a quite, it's an advanced tool, right?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, but I'm not sure how to deal with it because I think you need to spend a lot of time fine-tuning it because instead of just setting one undervolt, you need to set a lot of undervolts. So there's like what the name says, you can create a curve, so a voltage frequency curve, and with the curve optimizer, you basically say I want to undervolt with minus something, and then
with offsets.
Yeah, it's basically an offset. Yeah. And the ranges go to minus 50 maximum, and if you can reach that, then your CPU has a lot of headroom. Oh,
too fast. Yeah, so this is an advanced feature. It's a manual feature.
Yeah,
so some people like manual features and some are lazy like me. I just like to push one button and I have the best for what I want.
I think for the quick and easy, the optimizer is still, then you can see if your CPU has headroom, and the curve shaper is if you want to spend a lot of time to get the best efficiency and performance for your. There's always people who are interested in tweaking stuff like that, so it gives you extra tools. Yeah.
Davina Duckworth on YouTube is asking, what is the longest MSI has supported a mainboard with firmware updates? Do you know?
I think it's probably the X470 boards.
And what did we then talk about? Is this like
well, the AM4 platform. I mean, it's been there
for
so long, and still keep adding CPUs to it. So the X3D on the 5000 series are still supported on the one of the earliest. So not the B350. That was the first AM4 motherboards, but there was like a problem. There was a limited size BIOS on it.
I remember. Yeah.
And then you had like the X470 and the B450.
And the Max later.
And the Max, and there's more room and more support for. Basically any AM4 CPU.
Maybe an interesting question related to this, because on mobile phones, brands like Samsung and Apple, they're saying you get 5 years firmware support, basically OS updates.
Yeah.
How do we in MSI do this? I mean, if a platform is end of life, meaning there are no new CPUs, which probably means there are no new features. If you find a bug, do we still fix this? If we find a security issue, will we still fix this?
Sometimes yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes
but it depends on the severity of it.
How long ago it was that we sold.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Because some.
So if we sold it like more than 2 years ago.
If it's still running Windows XP, we're not going. No need to fix it.
No, exactly.
Because Windows XP is the problem.
Yeah, but there's still security issues going on, and they also get updated first to the newer boards. And
do you know about the security issue last week? We released a BIOS update about.
Yeah, I saw 2 issues. Yeah. The one is a very vague one, and the other one has to do with the BIOS logo. Vulnerability. Yeah. Oh, so you can upload a new logo and then it's overwriting some code and you can hack then it's executing your logo.
Okay, cool.
But that's a very easy to patch one.
What is that, a CSV security?
Logo fail.
No, but I mean the...
Oh, the CVE,
CVE.
one. That's a different one.
But
that was in the SMM, System Management.
Yeah. But I think last week or earlier this week we also released a notification.
The details of that security is not public yet. So
okay. So but we fixed it.
Yeah, the company that found the issue, they alerted us, and we are working with them to get it fixed. Yeah.
But basically, there are still security updates for platforms, and recently this week, I think Tuesday around that time. It's yesterday. We released I don't know, did we release some BIOS updates or a notification
We already, I think maybe a press release. I
haven't
seen it, but I've seen the BIOSes.
It seems there's a website in MSI where you can track this.
Oh, okay. Well, that's.
I didn't read the email. It was about.
Yeah, we used to have. There was like the issue with Spectre and Meltdown.
Oh yeah.
Then we also had some security pages and guidance how to
For
deal
our
with
customers,
that. But that was industry-wide, so basically
And this was specific for MSI.
Yeah, this was motherboards only, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And Spectre was also laptops, everything.
Yeah. Okay, so in the BIOS you can find curve shaper over here. So basically it's an overclocking menu.
Yeah, curve optimizer is still there as well. So if you want to do the quick and dirty one, the curve optimizer is much easier and gets you some results. And the curve shaper is if you want to spend the extra time on it.
Yeah. Then we have OPP. That's for memory.
Yeah. The sweet spot for this platform is still a DDR5 6000, and the lower latency the better. But more and more memory kits are 7000 or up, and if you run it on AMD, then the bandwidth is still fine, is good, but the latency will also be up because of the clocks will not align and need to be slowed down. So that will get you some latency penalty, and if you run it at 6000, then this feature can just optimize it for you. So it will run at the correct, or it will run at 6000 and then optimize the latency for your kit.
Hynix is good, but not always easy to find.
It's not always labeled what kind of chips are on the DIMMs, so that's a problem in my opinion. Yeah.
And here this says only RAM kits using Hynix chips. I'm not sure if this will stay this way or it will be expanded to other brands. You notice?
Not
this is
sure,
like
no.
first.
It's the same as with we have the high efficiency. It's also in this presentation. Was also introduced in the last
generation.
Actually, when X670 launched. Yeah. And that was also working on Hynix, and later they transferred it also to Samsung, but not sure if Samsung is as stable with that feature. So basically all those overclocking memory features, they are focusing on Hynix at the moment.
Yeah, you see here in the footnote that at this moment it's called optimized platform profile, but we will rename this to the optimized performance profile, like how AMD will call it in their user code, so that everybody is talking. It's still OPP, but indeed, also I see OPP leads to a longer boot time. Do you know why?
AMD already has a longer boot time, especially if
that's for the training of the memory?
Yeah, if you run higher clocks, then it will train longer.
But what is training the memory? I'm asking for a friend. No, I don't know.
Training the memory is optimizing the voltages, how to communicate between memory controller and DIMM.
Okay. And that's each time when a mainboard boots, basically it's training the memory.
It's training the memory so that the signals will be optimized.
And can you not do this one time and then store it somewhere?
Yeah,
in some
that's possible. It's called memory context restore. That's also in our BIOS, and you can enable it. But by default, just for fail-safe, it's turned off. But you can enable it yourself. Of course, you need to test it if it's working for you.
Because everybody will put different memory inside, so it's it needs to train anyway. The first boot.
The first boot, yes. And
but basically the first.
It's possible, or at least that's what they told me. I haven't seen failing yet.
Okay.
That the memory can boot the first time. Then the training data is stored, so that's the memory context restore information. And then after a couple of boots, or even days or months later, then it's not stable with that settings anymore.
Yeah, okay.
But I haven't seen that happening yet. So.
And basically each time it's doing the same, so it's not learning something new, like it's not AI?
No, but they say it could also be like the environment temperature could influence it and stuff like that. But with the memory kits we've tested, we haven't seen it that failing.
Yeah.
It's either failing right away. So we had some kits that didn't work with the memory context restore, and then it was failing or was blue screening just the first boot, or actually the second boot, because the first boot it will train, and if you restart your system, it will boot up much quicker. You will notice that definitely, and then the second boot it will be blue screening.
Yeah.
So
to the effect saying...
don't test the memory at first boot, but test the memory at second or third or later boot. Yeah.
So to the effect saying, is OPP a Hynix proprietary technology? We don't know. At this moment it's only working on Hynix, and we don't know if other vendors are added to this list.
I think it's just a BIOS feature that's easier to do on Hynix, and that's where they start. And the same with the high efficiency part.
And sometimes this becomes a standard, right? Because we had like XMP, and then we started with XMP, which was only for AMD, which was like a XMP version for AMD.
Yeah.
And now we have Expo.
Expo.
Yeah.
So maybe then the other memory vendors will also follow Hynix example and just implement it. Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's A or M die with Hynix?
Not sure. No, I haven't seen any problems with that.
Question from Skeets: how can you tell if your RAM is Hynix? I think you can only tell that by checking the website of the manufacturer if they highlight it.
Usually they don't.
No. So then open it up?
That's a possibility, but
can like CPU-Z or another tool?
Overclock forums, then sometimes you can find.
But there's no tool that you can see.
There used to be like a Typhoon burner that could identify.
That sounds good.
That sounds great. That could identify the chips. CPU-Z used to do that as well, but I think there's also a way to hide that kind of information. So, yeah. Oh, Alan says CPU-Z will show. Yeah.
And
HW info, IDA. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Typhoon burner. What a name.
Yeah, in DDR4 it was Typhoon burner was the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe also on the you also have a tool for AMD. It's called Zen Timings, and maybe that also lists the brand of the memory chips.
Yeah.
I think with Zen 5 there's more information because the SPD information holds more information as well. So there's also
they have a place to store it.
Voltage controller on it, and you can just read which brand voltage controller is on it and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, so something new is also memory overclock on the fly. And this you maybe explain it.
Well, the simple way is to, if you enable this function, then you can just go into Windows and fire up Ryzen Master. That's a utility from AMD, and you can just toggle Expo on and off. We only have a kit with one Expo profile, so I cannot switch between profiles, but I can normally turn it on and turn it off.
Then it can be on, off, and profile 1 and 2. I think they have 6 profiles, right?
It could be 4, I think.
Oh, 4. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
But our kit only has one profile, so it's toggling between
you have
the 4800.
You have an early kit, not?
No, this one just has one profile.
Oh, okay. I thought we had
this one is the kit that many media also have for AMD. So the 6000 and C30 kit from G-Skill. But yeah, so it's running 6000 if you enable the Expo in Ryzen Master. If you disable it, then it's running at 4800. So the SPD timings. Yeah. Speed. Yeah.
Bus King is waking up. Good morning. Good morning to you. Here almost bedtime.
Not sure if the memory overclocking on the fly or Expo on the fly is really any useful. I mean,
well, I find it useful because sometimes you forget to enable XMP. You need to reboot again.
Yeah, but now you need to download Ryzen Master.
I'm really lazy, Ruud. I can see benefits.
Really, but you need to enable it in the BIOS first because it's not enabled by default. So, but there's probably scenarios that this is going to be helpful. But I would expect for overclockers.
Yeah. And then we already used to have PBO. Now there's something called PBO Enhanced Mode.
Yeah, basically what it does is PBO. With PBO you can increase the power limits and the current limits. And you can also use the curve optimizer, and the enhanced mode is like a preset. So it does increase the power limits and also runs the curve optimizer and some extra settings.
Yeah, and so these are all 9000 exclusives, right?
Not really, because the 7000 also had the enhanced mode. So
Okay.
yeah, we can show that one. Yeah.
Maybe we can show.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean,
I'll go to the BIOS. I need to do the trick again with disconnecting display port, and then hopefully the.
Michiel gave us a tool, so we don't need to do the trick anymore. But he's I think driving in a car to Germany right now together with Peter and some other people. So we're not using his tool. We're just doing the old way.
Old way. Yeah. But we know this works. Also old school. Huh?
How to undervolt? I would say don't do a manual undervolt anymore. That's
you can still do that, but it's going to crash sooner than if you use the curve optimizer. But the curve optimizer does have limitations, so you can only go up to -50. But then you already have a very good CPU.
But if you reach -50, can you do then apply manual undervolting on top of that? Or
you can, but with the sample, the pre-production sample, the performance got worse.
Okay.
So yeah. So there is like a tipping point where undervolting too much.
Do you need to do the cable plug or?
I already did. So it should be in the BIOS by now.
Capture.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to overclocking.
It's not easy for Ruud because he cannot see anything on the monitor over there.
No,
he needs to. Yeah. It's far away. That's why we gave him glasses.
Now, why is I think I just tapped this one by default by mistake. So in advanced CPU configuration, you will have AMD overclocking and
hey guys, you see 7000 CPU, we don't break any AA.
You need to. At the moment, it's set to auto, or basically it's off. So a bit weird of a name. So here you have the enhanced mode 1, 2, 3, and 4 with the pre-production sample of the 9600X. It only got 3. What it does is basically increases the power limits and current limits, and then apply like a -10, -20, -25, -30 curve optimizer, or you can do it manually. So manually you would say go to advanced PBO limits to manual. Here you can set the power limits whatever you want. You can also set the power limits to motherboard. The power limits, usually if you set it to auto, it will go to something like this. This is the TDC, so that's 230. These are also the numbers that Ryzen Master will set up if you do this with the Ryzen 5s. And then go to curve optimizer. So if you have a 9000 series CPU, you will also get curve shaper there. So at the moment we only have curve optimizer. Then go to all cores, and then you want to undervolt. So this sign needs to be negative, so a negative voltage. And if you go to, let's say, -40, you'll get some extra performance. So more performance, less power. So this is only to reduce power, and the PBO limits is to increase performance.
Yeah,
so go 2 ways.
Alan is saying I find -30 works mine on well on mine. I think that's important on mine. And because this differs per CPU.
Yeah, this CPU, this 7600X, works with -40, but I've only tested it for an hour. So if I run like a stress test for 24 hours, it might still crash, right?
Yeah.
So there's a whole debate going on, especially with a different company that also sells desktop CPUs. What is stable? So how to test stability, and how long are you going to test it, and what kind of stress test do you use to...
We didn't get any question about Intel.
No, and I brought it up
not
myself.
yet.
Now it's my own, my own fault. Anyway, anyway, so also with overclocking, undervolting, what is stability? That's a debate that's already been as old as overclocking. So so for this CPU, -40 will work. If I go back to the presets, and that's what we call with the enhanced mode, this one would be very similar and would set it to -30. So that's also very good performance profile. but because the curve optimizer is a little bit less offset, then it will consume a little bit more power. But performance will be very close to each other, especially with a high-end cooler, because you will not run into a thermal limit that quickly. So if your cooler is limited, so if you have a smaller cooler, then maybe enhanced mode 1 or curve optimizer -10 will still overheat your CPU.
Yeah.
So the further you can go with the curve optimizer, so less voltage on it, that will give you more performance because the thermal limit will not be reached as quickly.
Yeah, and you also have the thermal points, and that's something from a previous generation, I believe.
Yeah, this is also introduced with X670, and at that time, especially with the 7950X, that was doing 230 watts, which is a lot for AMD at that time and still is. And you could just run it, and those CPUs will go to 95C anyway. So they were designed to boost as high until they reach the thermal limit.
Yeah.
And if people were uncomfortable with that, then they could just set it to 85, and then it will just boost up to 85 and stop there. So that's why they introduced this.
So it's a very it's a very easy preset because it's just doing on temperature. You don't have to touch anything else.
You don't lose that much performance.
Yeah, indeed.
So it will lower power, and it will not lose that much performance. So actually, your efficiency goes up most of the time.
And this is quite. I mean, it's called thermal point, so it's about temperature. But basically, what Ruud's saying, it's correct. You're losing power because it's boosting not that high, in order to make sure it achieves, not achieves, but it stays at this thermal point.
Yeah.
So it will do everything automatically for you.
Yeah.
So very easy to use. It's just one click in the BIOS and set and forget. I mean, you don't have to touch anything else like with curve optimizer or PBO or those kind of things.
Yeah. So that's an easy way.
Life hack.
yeah, basically.
Right?
Yeah. There's also enhanced mode boost 1, 2, and 3. Which is increasing what they call, that's also in curve optimizer, increasing, is that here? No, sorry, this is in the PBO. That's the overdrive scalar. And then you can, that's a bit of a complicated feature. It allows some safety features to be less safe. So it allows a little bit higher voltages and boosting without tripping the alert. So if you set it to 1, then it's just basically default, but you can also set it to 10, or I think you need to plus it. And then it allows 10 times more faults than before. So but that's a lot. So that's if you dare to overclock and you know what you're doing. So I wouldn't recommend the boost ones. So this ones.
NRT looks like from the UK. Turn it up to 11.
Yeah.
From the UK. What's that from?
Yeah, that was the UK.
UK.
But
with the amplifier.
There's another one you also have in your presentation. And that's in a different place. I've been playing with that as well.
What's that one called?
The performance switch.
Okay, yeah.
So there's like level 1, 2, and 3. So that's a combination between.
Should I show this first?
Yeah, do that. Yeah.
That's maybe.
Just switch it. Switch the output.
Ooh, I mean, this is more easy to understand.
Yeah, apparently what it does is it will give you the PBO mode for the lower loads, and it will switch to overclocking mode with the higher load. So if you have all core loading, then it will overclock it a little bit.
This sounds like a core cell in the past.
Yeah. More or less, yeah. So it's a combination of those two. So actually, I haven't tested it with single-threaded performance, but usually PBO doesn't affect single-threaded performance that much. Does it increase the voltage? Yes, it does increase the voltage a little bit, but if you go back to the BIOS settings, Can you switch the again?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. To your screen.
The monitor, yeah. So you have 3 levels. So level 1, we'll set it to 1.28 volts, and if you go with a higher level, the voltage will also increase. And level 3 is 1.34 volts. And even with this 360 cooler, 1.34 volts is too much. It's overheating quickly, so 98 degrees centigrade, and also crashing. So be careful with this one. If you push it too far with too little cooling, then it will crash easily.
I think NRT is correct. The number of settings is crazy, are crazy in modern systems.
Yeah, and these are all
if you have like an old Pentium
right?
Pro mainboard or like a Pentium mainboard, you open it up, you have like floppy boots.
You even have Game Boost here, but we have no idea what it does.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
So some options are really set and forget and quite easy. Other options are like I need to fiddle with it, I need to fine tune it, I need to, if it crashes, I know I need to toggle a little bit.
Yeah, what I basically do is just run BIOS defaults, select XMP or Expo profile, usually the fastest one I can get, and if it's stable I will leave it and forget. So set and forget. Yeah. But if you want to tweak it, then there are multiple options, and I think the curve optimizer is an interesting one because it will lower power, and with the PBO you can sometimes eke out more performance and keep your power the same, or keep the performance the same and lower the power.
Okay, maybe a difficult question. No, first I'm going to do a giveaway. Okay. That's not a difficult question. One moment. Okay.
And you don't need to overclock in the BIOS. You can also use the Ryzen master to do the overclocking, and there's also automatic overclockings in there as well.
Second winner is TG Jen. Congrats with your prize.
Congrats.
If you want to join Twitch and YouTube, you can click the Gleam link, and otherwise you can go to msi.com/2/insiders. No, sorry, not insiders. Insider. Yeah, very good, Ruud. Yeah. Yeah. Ruud, a question. Maybe I'm a bit confused, but okay. So you have PBO, you have performance switch, and you have like the thermal limitations.
Yeah, the thermal limitation is basically a performance limiter.
Yeah, yeah. But I want to like undervolt. I want to have more performance for lower power.
Yeah.
How do they compare to each other, and where should I go look to get the best result?
I think that PBO enhanced modes are the easiest way to deal with it.
Okay.
If you can max that out, so if you can run PBO.
But I'm a noob. I just.
Yeah. If you set performance.
Because I'm referring to the too many options, or like a lot of options.
Yeah, I think.
So where should I go for? But you say PBO enhanced mode.
Yeah. So go to the OC. Yeah, if you're in this menu, this is the easy mode.
Okay, this is the easy mode.
Right? Okay, so press F7.
Oh.
Then you get the advanced mode.
Yeah.
Then there's the OC menu.
Yeah. I'm sweating when I'm this menu.
You can watch the video back. Okay. And then advanced CPU configuration. Go to AMD overclocking. There's a lot of menus here, I know.
Yeah.
And then precision boost overdrive.
Okay.
I think one of these modes is the easiest to start. And if mode 1 is working, then you can go to 2, and 3, and 4. So
and like that, more aggressive.
Yeah, more aggressive. Okay. And if it fails, then you need to go one back, of course, right? Yeah. And then just leave it there, and it would be fine.
That's all. I don't have to put in any numbers like 40, 30, minus.
If you can reach the highest number and you still want to do more, then you can go with the manual or the advanced modes.
Yeah. And basically, this is always giving me more performance for lower power.
Now, because PBO increases your power limits, it can also increase the power.
Okay.
But the curve optimizer part, that's lowering the power.
And that's part of this, or you need to do this manual?
That's part of the enhanced mode. It's combining those two.
Yeah. So it's PBO plus curve optimizer is enhanced mode.
Yeah, but it's preset for you, so you don't need to fiddle with all the numbers.
Yeah, and performance switch sounds like I'm just adding voltage to get higher, and power is not my concern.
It's adding power,
when I have load.
With maximum load.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but the idea behind that one was that if you set like a fixed multiplier, you will lose the single and less threaded workload boosts, because then the fixed...
So it basically also depends on what you're running?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it tries to keep the single or lightly threaded performance while still having the maximum performance for multi-threaded or all-core workloads.
Yeah.
That was the idea. Yeah.
Okay, and this performance switch is not on all mainboards? Do you?
Apparently not, no.
Apparently not. Do you know, I mean, I see here B650. I mean, most of them have it, but I see one doesn't have it. Is this, you know, a reason?
Yeah, there was the VRM part, I think.
Okay, so it's VRM related. It depends on like what kind of VRM is on. But basically,
that's what I understood. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, I can show you this.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, you need to switch.
See, yeah. So basically, most MAG boards and higher, so MAG, MPG, and MEG are supporting this.
Not. Yeah.
And Pro, indeed, it's tricky.
Some Pro, yes, some Pro, no.
Project Zero, yes. Pro-P, Wi-Fi, yes. And -A, not. And here, up, everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And this board, I think nobody can buy it, 12 VO.
Yeah,
that's more for system. Yeah, for system integrators.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, SI.
Yeah, we did a live stream about 12 VO as well. Yeah. Long time ago.
Z590. Yeah, and that also means it's not really going mainstream.
No.
Not for the market.
No. Still interesting, but not interesting enough, apparently.
Yeah, okay, so that's all about the CPU getting more performance, but there are also some memory tricks, right?
Memory, we also have.
We talked about,
the on-the-fly one is only available for the 9000.
But you already
CPUs.
disappointed me, because if I forget XMP, I probably also forget OTF on the fly. Yeah. And then I still need to go back to my BIOS.
Well,
okay.
The weird part about optimize on the fly for the memory is that it's even in a more weird place in our BIOS.
Oh, it's not an overclocking?
No, it's in settings and then AMD overclocking.
Oh, whoa.
Then accept it.
Okay.
Then go to
so this is not covered by warranty, because you need to accept something.
I have no idea what I accept.
You never read it.
DDR and Infinity Fabric, frequency and timings, DDR options, DDR timing configuration.
Oh my God.
And then here with Expo, then with the 9000 CPU, you can also set on the fly.
Yeah, okay.
So it's buried in quite a lot of layers, menu layers, and
But so far, according to you, it doesn't matter, because you don't see any use for it?
Not that much, no.
Yeah.
No.
Not at this moment. I mean, maybe later.
Of course, it was in the presentations and in the review guide, and then we need to find out what it was.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
So it works, but is there a use case? Well, I cannot think of one at the moment, but there's probably some people that still like to use it. So
yeah.
the other one was Memory Try It.
Yeah, maybe I will show you first this slide. So Memory Try It. That's a feature we already have a long time in our BIOS.
Yeah.
Now it seems the marketing is quick and easy memory overclocking, but I always understood this was like for the nerds.
It's also presets.
Because this you have to, I mean...
also presets, so our test team, our overclock team, they put a lot of work in this and make sure that, or give you a higher chance that it will work for your memory kit. Yeah. So they cannot cover every memory kit, but they have a very good understanding.
But this is about timings.
Possible. Yeah.
Yeah. So
clocks and timings. Yeah.
Okay, clocks and timings. Okay. Yeah. So basically, it takes your kit. There is already a profile in our database. It will recognize this and it will say, "Oh, we tested this."
Yeah. You can choose. Yeah. If you choose the clock, then they will set up the timings for you.
Yeah. So they know, based on our own testing, based on our own experience, these are the timing that this memory kit
might run,
Might run, indeed.
Yeah, so give you a good chance to
That's why it's called memory tried and not guaranteed clock speeds on your memory.
Yeah, memory is always tricky. Yeah. But this is basically what came before the OPP one. Yeah. So OPP is setting the speed to 6000 because that's optimized for this platform. But with a memory triad, you can choose any memory clock. Yeah. And then it will just adjust the timings for you.
Yeah. Okay, can you show maybe on this memory what it does?
Yeah, sure. So at the moment it's running 6000 and C30, but with memory try it, you can also go to
maybe
64.
maybe can you go back to the beginning. I mean, I'm in the main screen. I see there on top DDR speed 6000.
Yeah,
you have XMP enables.
Yeah,
of
Expo in
sorry.
this case, yeah, and then you will get
overclocking
kind of
menu,
speeds, right?
Yeah.
And then, but you can also disable it and just go to
I'm going
memory
to do this
try
at home tonight. That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So it will start at 6000 because that's the kit you're using, but you can try to
My
go
speed
higher.
is not that high.
The only disadvantage now is that
we're
the
live.
higher speed. No, the higher speed doesn't really matter for AMD in performance-wise.
Oh,
right?
okay, yeah.
So it just recalculates the timing, so it expects you that it can run like the 6600 something with the C32. But it is what Eric says, try it. So if it runs, congratulations. If it doesn't run, if it's unstable, then try something else.
So basically, I see there are a lot of options, so you can spend a lot of hours with this.
Yeah. So, but if you have, for example, like a 5600 kit and you would like to run 6000 and relax the timings a little bit, then you might still have better performance.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there is a reason to use it, but depends on how much performance you need.
Yeah, I see Khalifa is asking why the delay for Ryzen 9. Well, we don't know. We also saw that there was some printing issues, but yeah, according to what we know from the media, there are some other issues, but nobody knows the real reason. But actually, I don't think that matters. I mean, yeah, it's a pity that things got delayed, but I think quality over speed. So it's better that they now delay it and that you guys, if you purchase this Ryzen 9 or even Ryzen 5 or 7, that you know it's working how it's advertised, how it should be working.
What means the stars? That's a good question.
At the bottom, don't try this.
Yeah, your system will explode in 10. No, I have no idea what the stars mean. I think it means probably. I'm just guessing here. Maybe it's that the F clock and the mem clock will not be in sync.
Okay.
So it will probably lose performance instead of.
Can you, PC Master is saying, can you run 6000 at 28?
We can try and let this one, or is this?
He said 28, 35, 35, 60.
Yeah, let's do this one. Okay. Then save and exit. Here we go.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
So this is what it's changing just by running memory try it. You will see that the voltage is increased and the timings are changed a lot.
Wow.
So the DRAM speed is still the same. F clock is set to 2000, which is probably what it was anyway.
So if you need to do manual, you had you need to be like a rocket scientist.
Yeah,
all those timings and stuff. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's why the memory or the test team does all the testing for you. Yeah. So the overclock team tests a lot of memory, and memory overclocking is a science on its own.
I think we did a live stream end 2019. We visited HU and we also spent some time with MTC team. That's how we call them, or overclocking team. Yeah, top PC indeed, or in-house overclocker, and they. At that moment, also explained a little bit how to do the testing, and they have a lot of memory.
Yeah, they need to test a lot. Yeah. Hopefully, it's booting. Maybe just blue screens right away. It's totally possible.
How do you see we have a blue screen?
Then the screen will turn blue with text on it.
But you don't have...
Well, it's still in the BIOS booting, or it's not booting at all. Let's give it some time. So the training could also take longer because you will speed up the memory.
retrain again?
Yeah, every time you change memory timings, then it will retrain, yeah.
Okay. Well, we're paid by hour, right? So it's no problem.
Well, we haven't set the memory context restore, so it's going to retrain every time you boot.
Okay.
But I don't think it will boot. should have gone further by now. We have the easy debug LEDs on it. So
I can show that.
Yeah. Now the CPU and the DRAM LED is on. So the red and the yellow one. That's a bit slow, yeah.
No, I think it's not.
No, it's not
going forward.
No, not booting. So we tried it and it
failed.
failed.
We failed.
Yeah.
Memory fail it. Memory try it, fail it.
But yeah, different kits will have different results. And
yeah.
Maybe the expo timings were already on the limit. I have no idea.
And that's why if you're going to do this, this is manual work. So you need to select, test, and
yeah, I'll try it one more time, but yeah.
Why don't you go to one profile higher? What is the default of this kit?
I can also clear the CMOS and then. This probably looks really professional and just use a key to clear the CMOS.
They don't see this.
There's no button on this one. Now it should boot again. Can also use a screwdriver or any metal part.
Yeah. Basically, with this you can get tighter timings. On your memory, which then, for example, using AMD Expo or OPP, those kind of things, but you need to spend more time, basically.
Yeah, with overclocking, undervolting, tuning the memory and tweaking, it takes so much time and so much testing. And
the problem is, a crash can always happen. Maybe by a bug in Windows or by the temperature from the outside, ambient temperature. You will never know. Well, it's very difficult to know. Is this due to my memory setting or my overclocking setting? So,
If in doubt, just disable the overclock and then try with default settings. Yeah. And then you might find out that it's or you overclocked it for like 6 months, then it becomes unstable. Yeah. And then you undo the overclock. And
still unstable.
And then it's still unstable. And you find out it's your Windows that is messing with stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you forgot what overclock settings you had.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It is trying to get in the BIOS again.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it's going to turn up at the capture
or
my
it takes
monitor
hours
this
to
time.
configure the RAM. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. It's also possible that it's going to Windows first and then before I can go to. It looks like it should be booting, or the capture is not picking up. It's also possible. Let me unplug.
Does the motherboard have a clear CMOS button? Yes, it has.
No, this one doesn't.
Oh well, I was talking about okay. We talked about
this one doesn't.
2 different models.
Yeah, that one does.
Yeah. So. Yes, sorry, we'll take a moment.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna try and get the BIOS here.
Yeah. Okay. Is it? Hello, camera.
Okay, I've got a BIOS here now, so I can go
Maybe
back
I need to push this button. Oh, there it is. So this motherboard has over here. Try to get it to focus. The top one is a clear CMOS and the bottom one is for the BIOS. So 2 buttons. But the one from Ruud, it doesn't have, and that's an older model. Which one is that? 600 Tomahawk something?
X670E Tomahawk, yeah.
Yeah, and that one doesn't, so Ruud just touches some...
yeah, you have the JBAT1, not sure if you can
the battery,
read it.
shortcut the battery.
Yeah, that's when it's turned off, then put some metal in between it and hold it for a couple of seconds, then the battery will be disconnected.
Yeah, and if it doesn't, it's not real metal. True, right?
Yes,
sometimes you have something, you try it, it doesn't work, then you take something else, so that's no metal.
I cannot plug it in. Hang on, we'll do something different. We'll boot the Windows and then go back to BIOS.
I will go to main and I will do a giveaway. Then you see Ruud struggling.
That's okay.
I'll pick 2 winners. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next 2 winners. Nice name, SLI. Congratulations.
SLI.
You win Flintlock. SLI. Still, nah, it's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it?
Used to be cool.
Scanline interface, right?
No, a scalable link interface.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was close. I had the interface correct.
Yeah, interface was good.
Yeah.
Scanline.
Yeah. So SLI, congratulations, you will get Flintlock, and the next one is Dr. Cree.
Cree.
Yeah, Cree. Of DR Cree. Can be something else, right? Congrats. You will both get Flintlock in the coming days, weeks, who knows. Oh, he's still in the chat. Congrats. In
Krill. Krill E.
Krill E.
Congrats. Congrats.
And with loyalty bonus, thank you guys. So, if you want to participate, you can still go to msi.com/2/insider, whatever. msi.com/2/insider.
Insider.
MSI Insider? I really don't know. It doesn't matter. I mean, you guys are all on Twitch and YouTube. You can click on the link. I'm getting old. I'm going to check what it is. Oh, it's on there. msi.com/2/insider. Is it working? msi.com/2/insider. Good? It boots?
We're going back to the BIOS, yes.
Okay.
I think you want to show the memory efficiency
because
mode, right?
yeah, indeed.
But there was the same thing is also introduced in the Z790 boards.
Intel?
The Intel boards, but they had a different name for it.
But same function or same
exactly
principle.
the same function.
Okay.
Yeah. And it just adjusts some timings, the REFI timings. That's the
one of the long
important.
lists you just saw.
Yeah, and that's basically what is giving you the extra performance, at least in AIDA memory benchmark. You can see it in some compression tests as well, like WinRAR or 7-zip.
Yeah. So it's also interesting for gaming because you
not really that much.
Because that happens in the GPU or not?
No, the CPU memory timing. So the DDR5 timings basically.
Yeah.
And it has something to do that it refreshes the memory less, so there's more time to move data. Something like that.
Yeah.
But it does increase performance, and some games respond to memory speed.
No, I want to say because a lot of games they impact the textures, and that's also zipping. So I thought maybe that's why games are speed up, at least the boot times.
Could be, yeah. Yeah, it could be. I didn't test that part.
No.
The frame rate in
By the
some
way,
games.
We have banana for scale. Yeah.
Can you check if the BIOS is already in the capture?
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay,
sorry.
here we go.
Half hour talking just to win time. That people don't notice it takes so long to boot.
Yeah, exactly.
It was already there.
In Intel, it's called different way, but basically doing the same. If you do high efficiency mode, you can choose some settings, some presets. So if it's relaxed, balanced, tighter, or tightest, just means more aggressive on the top and more relaxed on the bottom. But even if you press relaxed,
what is default?
Auto, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, what is auto?
I think it's balanced.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Or maybe relax, I'm not sure.
No.
But even if you choose relax, you will already get like 95% of the benefit of tightest.
Okay.
So they're very close.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it automatically, press the wrong
Alan
one.
is saying tighter tends to work well.
Yeah, if you're going to look for it, this is the default, so it's 11,677 cycles before it refreshes. So it refreshes the memory, so it's going to rewrite the memory or something. And if you turn it up to 65,535 or something, that's what the memory, the high efficiency memory thing does. Then you already have most of the benefits.
Yeah. And little risk.
No, it runs or it doesn't run. So
That's what I call risk. That doesn't run.
If your kit runs with these timings, then it's probably going to be safe.
Yeah.
So it's going to, Anyway, if relax works, then you can switch it up and try to go more aggressive. But the benefits will be very much smaller than going from off to relaxed. Yeah. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So this setting is the one that makes the most difference.
Is it called relaxed or relax?
Yeah, in this case it's written relax, but I would call it relaxed.
maybe you need to send a mail to BIOS team.
Maybe I already did, but I'm not sure about this one. Yeah, usually I'll tell them, but yeah. Anyway, it does work well with memory benchmarks, basically. Yeah. But are you gonna notice this in day-to-day work? No, usually the times don't really matter.
Everything adds up. I mean, all those things.
If you're fine-tuning memory and not only the CAS latency and stuff like that, this will also help. Yeah. And it will reduce especially the latency part.
Yeah. So. But it's quite strange that this is no part of the like memory triad. That's not like a toggle over there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But
because I know all those small toggles, from the past. Because then you need to do manual. Yeah. All the timings and all the things.
There's a lot of settings you could change, but
is this like
they're not combined.
Yeah.
Memory triad was first, and this was added later.
Okay.
So this was introduced with the X670 launch.
Yeah.
And
okay.
I think even later, because the first BIOSes didn't have it. So we saw Buildzoid, the one from actually hardcore overclocking YouTuber.
UK.
He was already talking about this a long time, and then we introduced it in the BIOS.
Okay.
So, I'm not sure if he found out about it or he learned from someone else, but it definitely helps. What are other stuff in our BIOS?
I think that's it, Ruud.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's it for today, guys. So this is a story without CPU. Maybe we will. Hopefully it arrives. Maybe tomorrow, or maybe it's already. That's sometimes what we see. Sometimes you get like a few hours before the live stream. Maybe it's now downstairs. Hey, there's a package for you.
Yeah,
happens. Doesn't matter. Next week we're going to talk hopefully about Cam 2. Is this a memory of the future? So we already previewed this during Computex. It's like a very thin memory, so not like this, no UDIMMs. It's a new form factor. We have the board here, we have the memory here. Hopefully we have somebody from Kingston, indeed, Kingston UK. Not sure if they will, if they can join on the right moment. We're going to check. So this will be together with Michiel. So thank you, Ruud, for not wanting to be here and still being useful. I mean, that not happens always, right?
Yeah. It was a pity that we couldn't show the CPU.
Yeah. But NDA is NDA, and we are just following those rules. Because we also have our own NDAs for our own products, and then we also don't, we're also not happy if somebody else breaks them.
No, that's true. I understand that part.
And I already had too many NDA breaks in my life, so need to watch out for that. Yeah. So thank you all, and hopefully we see you next week again.
Okay,
then we're going to do some not memory testing, but we're going to explain what Cam 2 is about. And I think it's really interesting.
Looks cool.
Looks cool indeed. If there are no bend pins. But you will see that next week.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.